You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Hello, and welcome to the Living Full Out Show. My name is Nancy Solari, and today we're going to be talking about creating opportunities in our life, right? Sometimes things aren't going to go as planned, and we might even question, do we keep going? Do we just give up? Or do we create new opportunities so that we can thrive in life? Well, that is what we're focusing on today. So I want you to think about, where in your life do you want a door to open, a window to open, a new relationship to be, brought into your life? That is our focus today, is creating those opportunities, not just waiting for them to come on by, but actually manifesting them and living a life of purpose. We're also going to be taking your calls. Again, that number is 800-333-0001. Again, 800-333-0001. And I'll be standing by taking your calls. Also, in our next segment, we're going to be joined by our inspirational guest, Sharon Salton Cutler. And she's going to talk about how she had to create many opportunities in her life amongst many losses. In fact, writing her first book at age 70. How did she do that? So you want to stay with us there. Also, if you need support on today's topic, go to connect@livingfullout.com and send us an email so that we can make sure that you are supported. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for calling in. How can we help you today?
So, I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I was younger, I've always been into art and drawing, and I even took art classes for many, many years, and I thought that's going to be my path in life. However, now I'm in college and I'm older, I strayed completely away from that side of me, and I feel like that's where I felt most, free. And I was just wondering, for this year, how can I stick to my artisticness and keep on with that path?
I love that you're asking this question, because consider the fact that there's going to be there are multiple layers to you, right? There's going to be different facets to who you are. So there's going to be the career you, right? And you might have a certain attitude, positioning amongst that world that you're in. Then there's going to be, the friendship you, the daughter you, so many different variations. But then there's the artist you. And you want to make sure that you give that side of yourself the attention it deserves. But part of that is going to be dedicating time to do it. Now, I am right there with you, because I like to sing and I like to play guitar. But I have to make a decision in my week. Okay, when am I going to practice my guitar? Okay, and if I love singing so much, when am I going to go karaoke? Or, I can just start singing in the shower, right? We have to remind ourselves not to get bogged down by the stresses, the overwhelm, the commitments of all the other aspects of our lives and who we are, but to make sure that you really relish and enjoy the artist side of you. So I want you to make a commitment to yourself today, okay? If you were to look at today or tomorrow, do you think you can fit in a half an hour to do art?
I do. I think so.
Okay. So right there, you said, I think so. So I want you to start saying to yourself, I can, I will. The words that we say to ourselves are really important. So when people say, I think, I'll try, I hope, right? It's whimsical. It's not a concrete, I'm going to, right? So let me ask you again. Are you going to find 30 minutes today or tomorrow to do art?
I definitely will.
You definitely will. And did you feel the difference in your body when you said that?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And your inner artist is smiling. She's like, yes, she said definitely. We're on the schedule, right? So I know that you'll do great, and just like I said, just budget in time, but otherwise enjoy it, follow your passion. But thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you for talking with me and answering my questions.
Well, you're very welcome. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, hi.
I love that she asked that question, because we all have those hobbies, those passions within us, right? And today we're talking about creating opportunities. Well, you want to create the opportunity for you to follow your purpose, your passion in life. And that is scheduling time. And again, holding to the words that we say so that we're living life with intention, not just, again, whimsically, fluttering around. Now, I am getting word from our producer that we have another caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for calling in. How can I help you?
I got a new job that I don't completely enjoy because it's time consuming and it's kind of like at the bottom of the ladder. And I work nights, so then I sleep all day, and I don't really spend any time doing the things I love. Or my big thing is being around people that I love. That's the priority kind of in my life. And so since I'm working this job in order to get to my future goals, I've been struggling with whether I should work towards these goals and watch these days go by like they don't mean anything, or if I should live in the now and like be around all the things that make me happy. So I don't know. I'm just wondering if there's a way to like find a combination of the both, or if I'm doing the right thing, just aiming for my future.
Well, I actually thank you so much for calling in, and I can tell in your voice that this is really important to you. Like, being able to live a life of purpose and passion and just be happy, right? Life is about feeling that we're of value, that we're contributing. So here's my thought on this. This job that you're currently doing, you absolutely sound like you're tortured by it. Okay? It does not sound like it's fulfilling you in any way. It's giving you a paycheck, so that's good. But let me ask you a question. Is it possible that there's another job that you might enjoy more in the meantime before you get to it?
Yeah, there definitely is. It's just this is getting me prepared for me applying to a new school, like a PA school.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
So here's
and so it just seems like something I have to do rather than something I want to do.
I gotcha. Well, have you heard the saying, paying your dues, right?
Yes.
Sometimes in life we have to pay our dues. And, back before I was ever in radio, there were a lot of different production jobs I had, internships, running for coffee, you name it, right? And I scratched my head saying, how is this going to help me be a radio host, right? How is this going to, make my career dreams come true? Sometimes you just have to. And I know those darn ladders, they're not fun, right? Why do we get ladders? We should have slides, right? But what I want you to do is I want you to climb that ladder and know that every step you're getting closer to where you want to be. I wish that we could read the last page first in our story and go backwards, right? But we can't. We have to start on page 1, then page 2, right? And so wherever you are in your life story, you're just currently on that page, and you have to keep turning the page. You have to keep reading for more. You have to keep stepping up that ladder. But do it knowing that your end goal is in sight. Does that make sense? You just kind of have to get through it. But I do believe that there's learning in it. So rather than going to work the next time you have your shift, rather than going with all the negative thoughts in your mind, I hate being here, what's the point? I hate it, right? Rather than having that negative attitude, I want you to go to work and try to soak up something that you can learn. Maybe it's being a good coworker. Maybe it's studying people's behaviors. Maybe it's learning a new skill. And make it more of an adventure rather than torture. Can you do that?
That's really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do that, I know you're going to have kind of a mind shift, because it won't be like, I have to be here. It'll be, okay, each day I'm going to come away from this shift gaining one new skill, one new insight. Let that be your goal. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling in, and we appreciate your call. And you're welcome. And for everybody listening today, it's all about creating those opportunities. Just like I told that last caller, it's finding those insights, those lessons that we can learn amongst the times that we're like, irritated or frustrated. But stay with us. It's all about creating opportunities. We'll be coming up next with our inspirational guest. I am Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. And think about where in your life that you want to create new opportunities, that you want to get to your happy, get to your vision. It is possible. You just have to take it one step at a time, climbing that ladder, turning that page, but it can be done. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Dad, this is fun. I didn't think I liked kayaking.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but I think it's time to head back in.
Okay. Can we come back?
Sure.
Tomorrow?
Let's check with Mom. Hey, be careful getting out of the boat.
It's a kayak, Dad.
I'm going to return the kayak. Just make sure you have everything.
Yep. Can we walk home?
How about a taxi? 233 North Maple, please.
It's a short fare from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood.
Best day ever.
A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Don't you wish that getting your child to eat right, move more, and spend less time in front of a screen could be as easy as pushing a button? It might not be that simple, but you do have more power than you know. And you can maximize that power with proven strategies, tips, and tools from the National Institutes of Health's We Can, or Ways to Enhance Children's Activity and Nutrition program. We Can offers all kinds of resources, including fun recipes and activities the family can do together to show you the way to live a healthier lifestyle. We're not saying it's easy. We are saying that it can be done. Take the first step today. Call 1-866-359-3226 for a free We Can Parents Handbook. And be sure to visit the We Can website at wecan.nhlbi.nih.gov for free information too. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit ignition.
And
then nothing. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out! Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. With Nancy's expertise, you'll learn how to embrace your potential and strive for success. If you have a question or need further support, send us an email at connect@livingfullout.com. Now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I am Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about creating opportunities. And the thing is, that's the exciting part of life, right? We want to see what is possible, be able to follow our passions and dreams. And while things are unknown, we don't know how it's all going to look. That's the adventure. That's where we want to be. Now, our inspirational guest today, Sharon Sultan Cutler, she is no stranger to creating opportunities. This woman has had so many changes in her life. She is a perfect example of what it means to basically start over again and again and again, have successes, and also learn from the times that she failed. So I'd very much like to welcome Sharon to the show.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Absolutely. Thank you for
here.
Well, I'm excited to have you. And boy, just so you know, everybody, I talked to Sharon previously to this interview, and I was on the edge of my seat with her life, right? You've had so many different chapters of your life, but, you know, I think one of the things that stands out to me, and we're talking today about creating opportunities, is early on, 18, you wanted to forge ahead. You wanted to start your own life and kind of be, you know, get out from underneath the helicopter parents. Where did that fearlessness come from? Where did that vigor come from?
I wish I could just give you the panacea for it. I felt that I had very closely, my parents closely watched us. We were two kids, and I wanted to get as far away as I could from them so I could be my own person. So I picked a university 1,000 miles away. And all of a sudden, as an unknown in high school, I was on student senate, I was dating, I was just, exploring life.
You know, I love that because you took a leap of faith. You gambled on yourself and you kind of won because you did go out there on your own and it wasn't easy, but you were doing it. And that's, for everybody listening, that's just what it takes. Just kind of following your instincts and moving along. Now, you did fall into a relationship that was unfortunately unhealthy and abusive. Can you share with us the dynamics of that?
Are you talking about the loss of my son?
No, I'm talking about your first marriage.
Oh, my first marriage. Oh, I think everyone should have a first marriage, actually. But I fell in love very, very quickly and married after a couple of years. He really wanted to get married. And as soon as we got married, he was a different person, like a Jekyll and Hyde. He's a very nice man. I know him for about 50 years now. But when I met him, and he still was living at home, he was a gentleman, and he adored me. And as soon as we married and lived under the same roof, I found that he was verbally abusive to me, and I did not know which way to turn because I didn't know if it was me, if it was him, if it was us.
And that's a very honest statement that you just said, and it kind of gives me shivers, actually, because I think when we get to a crossroad in a relationship like that, we know change is required. But what did you do? Did you end up leaving the relationship? Did you work it out?
Goodness knows I tried. I went into therapy. I think the gentleman was around 85 at the time. And I did something very dramatic. It wasn't that he was physically abusive, but the therapist suggested that I put a sign above our bed on the wall, taped, saying, wife beater. And that's very, wow. I think this is the first time I'm admitting to this. And he just scoffed it off. He laughed it off. But I was trying to get him to understand that I was a person, a woman, someone he allegedly loved, And he just had a really short temper with me. He did not find what was good in me and in the relationship. He found what he perceived to be missing.
Right, and he ended up finding another woman as well. There's some, with some relationships, there is that other woman. But how did you, today we're talking about creating opportunities, and even in a relationship, I mean, you could have stayed, you could have settled, and just took the abuse, but you didn't. You stood up for yourself once again and said, I deserve better. How did you find the strength to make that decision, to move on?
It took about 13 years. I mean, I was abused and couldn't figure out a way out for about 13 years until he finally told me that he was unhappy, which I could have guessed. I did everything to make myself attractive to him and engaging him and making his meals and doing this and that. He got very successful in business. And then he told me he was unhappy and he would stay with me for one more year, but he would not engage in conversation with me. He would not tell me where he was. I mean, he was working. He had a highly successful company, and he would only answer questions by yes or no. And when I think back on it now, I say, this is unbelievable that I put up with that. And then I forced him out before the year was up.
Wow. That's a long year. That's a long year. I mean, I'm hearing you say this, and I'm thinking, a lot of times abusers groom and they whittle down the other person, so your self-esteem is almost nothing. Did you find that you were struggling with that as well?
I struggle. Yes, I did struggle with my self-esteem. He wasn't kind about it. At times he was wonderful. I mean, when the times were good, they were wonderful. When the times were out of my control and I couldn't figure out which way to go, then I was in trouble. And of course, we had 2 young sons. So that they grew up in a house where there was a lot of harsh words.
And I'm sure that was really hard for you because, you love your kids, right? I mean, that's not who you were. You wanted to be a loyal wife and a giving mother. Sharon, I want you to stay with us because we are going to go to a commercial break. And as I promised everybody, her story just continues to deliver in terms of the lessons that we can all gain from how she was able to keep evolving, how to create opportunities to grow. And I want you to think about in your life, how can you do the same? So stay with us. It's all about creating opportunities so that we can live our life full out. It is never too late to turn that page. You can achieve whatever it is that you want. You have to continue to believe in yourself and create a supportive team to help guide you along your way. Stay with us. We're going to be coming right back after this break. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey, but people in this town call me Maniac. They call me that because I'm the fastest runner in town. But just because everyone knows who I am doesn't mean I belong. I don't really belong anywhere. You see, I'm an orphan, and I wander the streets just looking for a place that I can truly call home. My name is Maniac McGee, and I'm all alone. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Maniac McGee by Jerry Spinelli. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
And the food pyramid shows you the way. With just the right amount of exercise and the necessary grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Just the bare necessities of life.
So eat right, be active, and have fun.
Yeah, man.
For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
This is really living.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Nancy Solari, host of the Living Full Out Show. I am excited to let you know that we are now associated with Alexa. If you have Alexa in your house and you didn't know that, go ahead and find Living Full Out because you can hear us anytime you want, and we're there for you to keep you motivated. Go to your app store because we're located there as well. Just look for the Living Full Out radio show. It's important to us that we put out really inspiring programming, but we want to make sure that you have it at your fingertips when you need us most. We never know when those challenges are going to come, when we're going to feel lonely and need that motivation. So just know that when you need us, we're here for you. Check out Alexa, the app stores, or go to livingfullout.com. Here's to you living full out.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back. I am Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about creating opportunities in life for us to be able to get past the burdens, the regrets, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and embrace what is possible. And our inspirational guest today, Sharon Sutton Coulter, is a perfect example of what it means to live full out. And so I want to welcome her back into the interview because there's so much more to share of her story. So, Sharon, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Now, I have to say, you are a woman of courage and bravery in so many ways, but also a woman of necessity. You're smart. I like that. And what I mean by that is after your separation and divorce from your husband, you knew that you needed to go to work, but you got creative. We're talking today about creating opportunities, and you did just that. What business did you create?
I knew that having to go back to work, I would need good child care. So I just did a common sense kind of thing and decided to start my own nanny agency so I could get the best care of all. And what I did to make it different, At that time, a lot of people in our Long Island area and elsewhere had nannies for childcare. And, it was hard to find good help. Good help was hard to find. So I decided to go around the country and have nanny job fairs, which I created out of just the idea. And I made about 11 different trips all over the country to areas where nannies would like to leave and come to the New York area, which is where most of my clients were. So that's what I did, and I got to see America.
You know what? I love that. I mean, I am clapping in circles for you because I think I'm giving you a round of applause because that is just pioneering something new, but solving a problem. And I think in life, when we can be the solution to somebody's problem, that equals purpose. And you did just that. Now, unfortunately, you are no stranger to the ups and downs of life. And even in that business, as smart as you were, you did partner up with somebody who didn't treat you so well. Again, not exactly like your ex-husband, but also took advantage of you. And I know that was a really difficult pill for you to swallow because this business was like a baby to you. How did you weather that storm of having somebody do you wrong?
I come from the belief that everybody is good until proven different. And maybe I had rose-colored glasses on because I took in a partner, very respectable and handsome, divorced. As a matter of fact, 3 of my friends ended up dating him. And everything went along well, but there were certain signs that I did not realize. We took his accountant, we took his lawyer, and then I found out that he was trying to squeeze me out of my own business. And everybody was colluding. So it was a horrible time. Felt really stupid that I didn't see the signs, that I was so trusting.
And how does somebody get trust back? For somebody else who has gone through that, whether it be a relationship or a business endeavor like you had, how did you regain your ability to trust again?
I'm much more careful these days. My life has changed again and again and again. And I still want to be the leader of my own organization, whether it be publishing or, different enterprises. But I look on each person, as I hope they look onto me, and see what the trust level is or should be, and what role I want them to have in my organization. So I've taken control.
You got to sometimes trust that spidey sense, right? That intuition when it comes to people.
Absolutely. Yep. I mean, but this particular person, who I will call a sociopath, because I'm not naming anybody, he presented very well. And there was virtually no way that I could have known. In reviewing things, now I realize there were other things that happened. Even including something with his former partner, who he had said, I have a wonderful 20-year relationship with him. And then I found out that he had also screwed his former partner. But did not know that when we started.
It's kind of like peeling an onion, right? There's layers and layers and layers the more you pick at it.
Right.
Now, we're talking today about creating opportunities. You went on to find love again. You went on to create and recreate more businesses. And in fact, you wrote a book at 70. I mean, most people at 70 would, retire, go to Florida, go to Palm Springs. What was it inside you that kept you going?
Okay. Part of it was a little necessity because I don't know how to play golf. And I don't think I could sit around and play mahjong all the time. Sometimes maybe. But I keep on having ideas, and these ideas are niches that I try to do when nobody else is doing them. And so with my American Bandstand book, which is called Bandstand Diaries, it's the perfect book for people over 65 who watch and Dick Clark's black and white TV show and wondered whatever happened to those teenage regulars who were on the show and suddenly disappeared when they were 18. But this was back in the 1950s and early 60s. Mm-hmm. So go know that this is just what the doctor ordered. When I do a presentation, fans show up. We had 100 people at a rock and roll show the other day.
Wow.
And I did and they were all dancing, all different ages. And they got up. The DJ was over 70. I was over 70. And I spoke for an hour, and I had them laughing and remembering names of people. So that's what I tried to do. And then it led to another book that I'm working on.
You know, and I love that because, you know, age is not holding you back, right? In fact, maybe your best work is yet to come, right? You just keep going, sister.
It's a wonderful hook. Yeah, it's a wonderful hook. And, you know, and as long as I have the energy.
Yeah.
And I'm doing things that I never did, you know. I was not a public speaker, although I had spoken. But now I go out and speak. I go out and show people how to dance. You know, I just, I'm loving it.
Yeah. You know, one of the quests of life is to experience and the highs, the lows, right? And you've really done it. In fact, you did have to go through the experience of losing your son. What age did you lose him?
He was 20, and last year it was 2020, so that meant that he lived 20 and he passed to 20. And it was, like everyone said, it's the worst loss. And it was sudden, an accident, and we spent the whole day together. And you know, he went on our jet ski, which was supposedly foolproof, and something went wrong in the engine, and he had a collision, and it changed my life.
Yeah,
totally changed my life, and had to figure things out all over again. For 3 years, I was like wandering mentally and emotionally until finally we had to move from New York. I said, I can't live here anymore. So I said, let's move to Florida. And then we moved there, and 3 days later, I found out I had cancer. So.
You know, it's like they just keep coming, right? The obstacles, the challenges, the hard knocks, the disappointments, they're always going to come. But you know, the thing about you, Sharon, is that you take it and you learn from it. And it seems to me that you're the big winner in life, and you're making your son proud. You're making a difference. And what would you tell that 18-year-old, if you could go back in time and just knowing all that you know now that you've gone through, the highs and the lows, what would you tell her?
Right. I would say, Sharon, believe in yourself and just go for it. Don't be stagnant. Think about things that people need and that you need, and go for it. And I mean, I've done things that I never did before, like I did stand-up comedy. Never did that before. You know, tried it for a while. And there's potential in each of us. But if you don't use it, then it's for naught.
And it's to be discovered, right? Because if we had ourselves fully figured out at day one, that'd be kind of boring. But I personally am on the edge of my seat, Sharon, to see what you do next. I am a super fan, and so I so appreciate you being on the show, and I'm so glad that I wish I could duplicate you on this planet, because we need more Sharons, okay? But
is that cute?
You just keep going and creating and recreating, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
And thank you. I really, really had fun, and thank you for exploring me with others. I hope I can be an inspiration.
Oh, you are. You definitely are. Thank you again, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. And for everybody else listening, it is time for you to think about, what do you want to create in your life? Just like Sharon, it's about tapping into your potential. What is that? And if you don't know, then give me a call. Let's discover that together. Let's figure it out. So we're going to be coming right back, taking your calls. Again, if you're troubling, trying to figure out what to do and where to start, reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com, and we'll make sure to help you troubleshoot that. Most of all, it's about living your life full out. I am Nancy Solari, and stay with us. We'll be coming right back after this break. Stay tuned.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
The following message is about Medicaid and CHIP, free or low-cost health coverage for kids and teens. Enrollment is open year-round.
Hey, voice lady, give me the mic.
Okay.
Hey, DJ, let's switch up the music. That's better. So listen up, moms and dads out there. There are these programs called Medicaid and CHIP. They offer free or low-cost health coverage for kids. Things like doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and shots are covered. All the stuff that keeps kids like me healthy and in charge.
So, as you can tell, a covered kid is a confident kid. And it means confident parents, too. To learn more about affordable health coverage for your family, visit healthcare.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Yep, you could do something big for your family today because enrollment is open year-round.
This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Sophia.
They're gonna jump out of trees. You can't stop them. They'll go down the slide head first. They'll make parachutes out of sheets. They'll balance on things that are impossible to balance on, like the back of a couch or a windowsill or a scooter seat. They'll run with sharp objects. They'll run into walls. They'll climb things that won't hold their weight. They'll put their fingers in places where they could get smashed. They'll drive their tricycles down steep hills. They'll bounce balls off their faces. They'll step on each other. They'll jump on each other. They'll invent whole new ways to put themselves in jeopardy. But one of the most dangerous things kids will do happens while they're sitting perfectly still. Kids who ride in a car without a booster seat are much more likely to suffer serious or fatal injury during a crash than kids in boosters. But amazingly, 80% of all kids who need them aren't in them. After a toddler seat and until they're 4'9", booster kids, and don't let them down.
Go to boosterseat.gov to learn more about the importance of boosters. A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Have you ever lost a cat? And have you ever wanted to get your cat back after you lost it? I'm Andrew Hoffman. I invented the Lost Cat Magnet. Just turn it on and lost cats stick to it. Just listen to one satisfied cat. That's proof. You should invent stuff too. But remember, don't do a lost cat magnet.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation, and the Ad Council.
We're your pets, and this song's dedicated to those people who don't have health insurance yet. Enroll, we say. We want you to be okay. Enroll, we say. Take care of people for goodness sake. sake.
Health insurance is now affordable and covers prescriptions, hospitalizations, and preventive care. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn more.
And take care, people.
Brought to you by Get Covered America and the Ad Council.
When you consider creating opportunities in your life, dream big. Think about what are the people that you want beside you when you climb that mountain. Who can get you there? What resources do you need? It's all about putting together a plan of action. When you do that, you will be living your life full out.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. Nancy is here as a guide to show you how to rise above obstacles and savor each moment. If you have a question, call in live at 800-333-0001. That's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we've been talking about creating opportunities and really opening our eyes wider, listening more clearly, figuring out where are those nuggets of opportunity that we can harness, that we can tap into to really maximize our potential, and figuring out what is our purpose, what are my passions, and start there and then build on that. So I want to make sure that you do reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com if you need assistance on today's topic, because I believe in all of you. It's just really figuring out where to begin and then putting together a plan, and I can help you do that. Now, I am getting word from our producer that we have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi there.
Hi there, thank you. I'm good. How can I help you?
Right. So I've been having a dilemma over the past month, and here it is. So about a month ago, me and my then girlfriend broke up. It wasn't a nasty breakup, but it was over long distance. We met here in California, but she had to move back to South Korea with her family. And the thing is, we still stay connected with each other. We've been updating each other about each other's lives over the past month. But the issue I'm having is that I fear that since we already broke up, I fear that over time, even keeping a friendship from like different continents in the world, I feel that we're going to slowly just move apart from each other, even as friends. And if I lose her in that fashion, I just don't really know how I would be able to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling in on this, because there's going to be a lot of listeners that are going to relate in so many ways, because relationships are tough, right? There's multi-layers here, especially when it's long distance. And what I want to kind of share with you is that in any romantic relationship, it starts with friendship first, right? And from there it blossoms to feelings of, like, and then love and so forth. And so even though you aren't together technically as a couple, even though you're not even in the same state, in the same country, you want to put that friendship first. And I know you are. It sounds like you're doing that. But also, sometimes to be a good friend, you have to let that person go and give them the space to live their life and always be that stable rock for them. So it's possible that you will talk every week for the rest of your life. It's possible, though, that you will get busy with another job, a relationship, and her too. And so because there's a lot of possibilities, a lot of factors still to come, you don't want to limit yourself or lock yourself into it has to be an every week, once a month scenario. You got to give the friendship the freedom to grow and blossom in its own way, organically. And sometimes that is giving that person space. Now, what do you think drew her to you in the first place, as a friend or even more? What is the quality of you that you think she was attracted to?
The quality that she found attractive in me?
Yeah. What do you think is that quality?
I don't know. See, I usually don't build myself up, but I don't know. Well, I think it was think it was the fact that whenever I was around her, she made me smile. So I believe that she found that my sense of joy when we were together, I believe she found that most
so here's what
about me.
So here's what I want you to do. When I asked you that question, you laughed. You got embarrassed. You're like, I don't know, right? So just like how I told you to give her space as a friend, to find her way, find her path, and grow as a woman, you want to do the same. It's about discovering what makes you special and unique, romantically, as a friend, as a future employee. It's about taking some time for yourself right now to evolve and grow. Do you see what I'm saying? And you might need that same space. So I'm super glad that you asked this question, and I want you to think about that, okay? And I want you to start asking people in your life, what are the best qualities about me? What do you come to me for? Start really thinking about that further so that, you are clear on who you are and what you have to give, okay? But thank you so much for calling in, and we'll be wishing you all the best, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And for everybody listening today, it is all about getting creative, right? Finding opportunities for ourselves to grow. And sometimes we have to get out of our own way. Sometimes we have to ask people questions. Just like our last caller, he wants to find out, what are his special, unique attributes, and let those shine. And so the entire Living Full Out family thanks you today. We have Rich and John and Riley and Raj and Aaron and so many people that are dedicated to making sure that you are living full out. Check us out on Alexa. Go to the App Store, look for Living Full Out Radio, and we will be there to keep you motivated every day. Here's to you living your life full out. It's been a great show, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Living Full Out Show with Nancy Solari. To learn more about this program, visit livingfullout.com for the latest episodes. Connect with the Living Full Out community by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you have an inspirational story you want to share, email us at connect@livingfullout.com. Here's to you, living full out.